What's up, everyone? Welcome to today's video. Welcome to the Video Game Fight School channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. It appears that Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is dialing into something that we didn't necessarily see so far. This is maybe with regards to the lore, the story, the plot, whatever you want to call it, but it seems like they're introducing what they're calling Elseworlds. Now, many of you, if you can backtrack and look at what James Gunn is trying to do with the whole DC universe, there was mention of, the Elseworld series, which is pretty much going to be everything that is not going to be in James Gunn's crafting. In my opinion, I don't think it really matters. It's going to be one of those things where we see some movies from him, depending on how long his vision is going to be carried out. But what I've noticed with Warner Brothers is it doesn't seem like they've been able to stick with a lot of long-term vision structures. But who knows? James Gunn might be the one that makes the difference there. But with the video game side, we're looking at Elseworlds, and I think this is very interesting. Before I continue any further in the video, by the way, I wanted to go ahead and take some time to invite you guys to go ahead and join the Video Game Fight School Discord server. This is a Discord server that you guys have been asking for a while, so shout out to those of you who've already joined. We're having a lot of conversations about Suicide Squad gaming and, in general, all things pertaining to superhero comics, games and so on. There are channels for LFGs when Suicide Squad comes out as well. So keep that in mind if that's something that you're looking forward to. All right, let's continue with this particular stuff because I think this is really interesting. When you actually go ahead and, discover that it appears that Suicide Squad is going to be coming with, I think, a proposition that they're going to be tapping from story beats all over the place. Maybe this lends credence to how we're going to see the story eventually evolve. Most of you remember that at some point in time, there were some leaks that didn't necessarily provide all of the context as to what would be happening within that particular game's world. But at the end of the day, what eventually happened was those leaks were not necessarily complete. So when you put that in mind, when you kind of keep everything in perspective, it appears that the Elseworld is going to pretty much go ahead and provide something that I think is very interesting regarding the story and regarding the plot. Who knows? Maybe this is going to be how they open up the doors for new characters, possibilities, new villains, and more than likely, continuing, say, another story beat that could, in a sense, line up with this universe that doesn't necessarily infringe on everywhere else. It's kind of a multiverse type thing, a very dangerous thing to pretty much dip your hands into because it can backfire very easily if it's not well handled. However, I think at this point, because of everything that we've seen from the Arkhamverse and a lot of the different characters that we're looking, forward to, it will make a whole lot of sense for us to be able to go back and say, all right, maybe this is the, smoking gun. Maybe this is definitely what this game might need to be able to, jump itself into what I think is DC relevance and bridge the gap with those who are more of the hardcore sense, maybe gamers, onlookers, whatever you may call them. And this might be able to speak to the community as a whole. Not saying it's going to make more people play the game. The game is still indecisive for most. And a lot of people, in their opinions, they don't necessarily know what to make of the game. I don't blame them. I mean, many people were not expecting a shooter. I've been expecting a shooter since I first saw the game. You can go back as far back as you want. You're going to see my videos where I even predicted everything going on right now. I said gamers are just not going to know what to do with this because a lot of this community is used to the, melee combat and all of that stuff. But let's go ahead and look at some comments. I think this is really going to set the stage, for how people are responding to this. Now, keep in mind, a lot of folk here are more than likely dialed into the project. So, their opinions may be biased to leaning to wanting to play the game. So this might not be representative of everybody. I'm not, I'm not ignorant to this fact. So you can see a lot of people are happy. A lot of people look like, okay, what's going on here? I mean, I see some people in the community. Shout out to Salty Seggy, Sleggy. That's I missed the L. And a lot of folks seem like they're trying to basically check this out. Because one thing about this game is, like I've said, you're going to be getting your base story, right? You're going to be getting your just what I think is, core to the game itself, just a gameplay loop. I say gameplay loop, a gameplay sequence from beginning to end. But then what is going to continue to be the layer beneath the game itself? And I think this Elseworld paradigm seems to want to open the door for a lot of possibility. It could also be a marketing, look at people, man. Look at these memes. It could also be a lot of people, are needing something just to realize or understand where the direction of the game is going, and the developers are bringing this and more than likely using it for, some kind of a marketing, maybe trying to push their message about their game out there. But anyways, if this is the end game, if this is what it is that they're looking forward to, I'm curious to see how this is going to turn out. They have a date for it on Monday, next week. I think it's 1/22, January 22nd. So those of you who are, maybe interested, you can dial in, and this should be interesting. And while we're at it, don't forget the Discord link is in the description below, and let me hear your thoughts in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching the video. Appreciate you guys so much. Peace out.